Okay, here I have JK is tangent to both circles P and Q, and the point of tangency for circle Q is point J, and the point of tangency for circle Q is K. I'm going to draw a radius, and that radius is going to create right angles here. So we know we've got those right angles. We also know now that these two radii are going to be parallel. And that's because we've got that, let me show you, we've got that one line that's perpendicular to two others makes those two others parallel. Okay. So that gives us a parallelogram. That's kind of cool. So we've got a parallelogram. Let me draw it like this though. It's a little bit easier for me to draw it like this. I've got that, and I've got that short one, and then I've got the long one, and then I've got that. Okay. So this is Q, this is K. Is that right? No. Got it backwards. Okay. I've got K, Q, and then Q is going to go down to P diagonally, and K comes down to J, and that makes our two right angles. So we're good there. Now we've got a 3, and an 11. So that would be 17. So QP is 17. Is there any other information that we know? No other information, but we do need to find out what JK is. We need to find out what JK is. Well, I'm going to pause on this drawing that I made below. If the radius is 3 here, then KQ is going to be also 3. So that's good, that's good. And then if P to this point, which is a radius, is 11, that means P to J is going to be 11. So P to J will be 11. So that's very nice. Very, 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 very nice. I can also draw a parallel auxiliary line right here to create a rectangle, right? So I'm going to have right angles. And if this length is 3, that's going to make this length 8. And then I'm going to have an 8, a 17, an 8 and a 17, and an X. Well, if you know your Pythagorean triples, again, 8, 15, 17 makes that right triangle with 17 being the hypotenuse. So that means that JK is 15. So what we did was we did this, and we called it X. And since this was 3 above, this is going to be 3 below, which is going to make this segment 8, which would make X have a length of 15. So JK is 15. And that is pretty cool stuff right there. You're putting everything that we've learned together, working with circles. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thought of that? Okay, what's the radius of this inscribed circle? If you're kind of curious now, oh, maybe I can try taking pieces apart, go ahead and do that. See if you can figure this out. We want to find the length of the radius. So I want to find the length of the radius. That radius or that radius, they're all going to be the same length because the radius in a circle is always the same, right? So what would that radius be? Well, what do we have here? We've got a kite. I can see that. So I've got congruent, congruent, right? And then I've got congruent, congruent, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I've got all the radii that are the same too. So if I say that this is x and this is x, and if that length is x, then the remaining length that I'll do here in green, let's show my favorites so I don't have to keep doing that. So that means that this length is going to be 12 minus x, and this length will be 12 minus x. It's kind of a cool thing. And then this length right here, let me do that in green so you can see this length right here is 12 minus x. And this length right here is 12 minus x. And then we've got the blue length and the blue length. Well, that blue and blue, those are going to be 8 minus x. 8 minus x, because if the whole thing is 8, and then, let me do this in purple, and then this length is x, that means the remaining length, the other part, is 8 minus x. And the same thing here, that's x. And we know the perimeter all the way around is 12 plus 12 plus 8. That would be 32. I'm going to take my 2 x's. I'm going to take my 2 12 minus x's and my 2 8 minus x's, and I'm going to set that equal to 32. What does that get me? Let's see. Maybe it doesn't get me anywhere. Maybe it gets me the answer. We'll only know if we try. So I've got 2x minus 2x. Uh-oh. Got another 2x right there. Okay, so 24 and 16 is 40. So I'm going to subtract 40 from both sides. And I'm going to get negative 2x equals negative 8. X equals 4. So if this length is 4, that length is 4. This length has to be 8, and this length has to be 8. And then we've got this length is 4, and this length is 4. So that's really nice right there, but how does that get me my radius? How do I find my radius? So if you want to know, you're going to need to come back in the next video.